Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most beloved love stories ever written. The tale of Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy from Jane Austen's masterpiece, Pride and Prejudice. If you've ever wondered why this nearly 200-year-old novel still captures hearts around the world, you're in the right place. We're going to unpack the enemy's Tulliver's trope before it was even a trope, explore the witty banter, and celebrate the journey of two people learning to see beyond their own pride and others' prejudice. So let's set the scene. We're in early 19th century England, a world governed by strict social rules, where a woman's future often depended entirely on making a good marriage. Enter the Bennet family, with 5 daughters and a pressing need to see them all well married. Our hero, Elizabeth Bennet, is the second daughter. She's intelligent, witty, and not afraid to speak her mind. A true breath of fresh air in a society that often expected women to be quiet and agreeable. She values genuine connection and isn't impressed by wealth or status alone. Then, into this world of country balls and social calls, struts Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy. He's incredibly wealthy, handsome, and the owner of the grand estate of Pemberley. But he's also proud, reserved, and socially awkward. He seems to look down on everyone in the small town of Meryton, especially the Bennet family, whom he considers beneath him. Their first meeting is, to put it mildly, a disaster. At a local ball, Darcy famously refuses to dance with Elizabeth, declaring she is tolerable, but not handsome enough to tempt me. Elizabeth, overhearing this, is understandably insulted. And just like that, the battle lines are drawn. For Elizabeth, Darcy is the epitome of arrogance and pride. For Darcy, Elizabeth and her family represent a lack of propriety and social grace. Her initial prejudice against him is set in stone, and his pride prevents him from seeing her true worth. This initial clash is what makes their story so compelling. It's not love at first sight, it's dislike at first sight. Austen masterfully builds the tension between them through a series of encounters. They are constantly thrown together at social gatherings, and each time they engage in sparkling verbal duels. Elizabeth takes every opportunity to challenge Darcy's proud demeanor with her sharp wit, and Darcy finds himself increasingly fascinated by her, despite his better judgment. He's drawn to her intelligence and lively spirit, qualities so different from the placid, agreeable women he's used to. One of the key figures who fuels Elizabeth's prejudice is the charming and handsome soldier, Mr. Wickham. He tells Elizabeth a sob story about how Darcy cheated him out of an inheritance left by Darcy's own father. This story paints Darcy as a cruel and unjust man, and Elizabeth, already disposed to think the worst of him, believes every word. Wickham's tale perfectly confirms her initial negative impression. It's a classic case of judging a book by its very convincing but very deceptive cover.
Yeah.
The turning point of the novel, and the moment the entire dynamic shifts, is Darcy's first proposal. It's one of the most memorable scenes in all of literature. He finds Elizabeth at Hunsford Parsonage, and against all his instincts and social conditioning, declares his love for her. But he does it in the worst way possible. He tells her he loves her against his will, against his reason, and even against his character. He emphasizes the social inferiority of her family, and makes it clear he's stooping to propose to her. Naturally, Elizabeth is furious. She unleashes all her pent-up anger and prejudice. She rejects him fiercely, accusing him of ruining her sister Jane's happiness by separating her from his friend, Mr. Bingley, and of treating Mr. Wickham with unforgivable cruelty. She finishes by saying he is the last man in the world whom she could ever be prevailed on to marry. It's a complete and utter rejection, and Darcy is left shocked and humbled. This disastrous proposal is the catalyst for change for both of them. For the first time, Darcy is forced to confront how his actions and his pride are perceived by others. Stung by Elizabeth's accusations, he writes her a long, detailed letter. In this letter, he explains the whole truth. He admits to persuading Bingley to leave Jane, but he genuinely believed Jane was not in love with him. More importantly, he reveals Wickham's true character. Wickham is a liar and a scoundrel who tried to elope with Darcy, Dasso's own 15-year-old sister Georgiana, to get his hands on her fortune. This letter completely shatters Elizabeth's worldview. She is forced to reevaluate everything she thought she knew. She realizes she has been blind, partial, prejudiced, absurd. She had prided herself on her judgment, on her ability to read people, but she was completely wrong about both Darcy and Wickham. This is a moment of profound self-awareness and humility for Elizabeth. She begins to see that her own pride in her perceptions was a form of prejudice itself. Her journey of transformation has begun. Their next significant encounter happens unexpectedly. Elizabeth is on a trip with her aunt and uncle, and they decide to tour Pemberley, Darcy's magnificent estate. Believing Darcy's away, Elizabeth agrees to go. As she wanders through the beautiful grounds and house, she learns from his housekeeper about his kindness, his generosity as a landlord, and his devotion as a brother. She hears stories of a Darcy she never knew existed, a man who is respected and loved by those who know him best. She starts to see the man behind the proud exterior. And then, of course, Darcy returns home early. Their meeting at Pemberley is completely different from their previous encounters. Darcy is warm, gracious, and gentlemanly. He treats her and her relatives with the utmost respect. He's no longer the proud, stiff man from the Meriton ballroom. Elizabeth sees a changed man, and she herself has changed. The animosity is gone, replaced by a tentative, blossoming respect and affection. For the first time, they are seeing each other clearly, without the fog of pride and prejudice. But just as things are starting to look up, disaster strikes. Elizabeth receives news that her youngest sister, Lydia, has run away with none other than the villainous Mr. Wickham. This is a huge scandal that threatens to ruin the reputation of the entire Bennet family. Elizabeth is devastated and believes that this disgrace has made any future connection with Darcy impossible. She thinks she has lost him forever. This is where Darcy's true character shines. Without telling Elizabeth or her family, he secretly takes charge of the situation. He hunts down Lydia and Wickham in London. He then pays off Wickham's massive debts and bribes him to marry Lydia, saving the Bennet family from social ruin. He does all of this not for praise or recognition, but simply out of his love for Elizabeth. He wants to spare her the pain and shame of her family's disgrace. When Elizabeth eventually finds out what Darcy did, she is overwhelmed. She realizes the depth of his love and the true goodness of his character. He is the complete opposite of the man she once despised. He has proven his worth not through words, but through selfless action. Her heart completely melts, and all her remaining prejudices vanish. She is now finally truly in love with him. The climax arrives with Darcy's second proposal. This time, everything is different. He is humble, she is receptive. He admits his own pride and selfishness were at fault initially. Elizabeth, in turn, apologizes for her prejudice and harsh words. They have both grown, they have both learned from their mistakes, and they have come to understand and accept each other completely. It's a beautiful, quiet, and deeply romantic moment. They have found their way to each other not by ignoring their flaws, but by acknowledging and overcoming them. So why does the story of Elizabeth and Darcy endure? It's because it's so much more than a simple romance. It's a story about personal growth. It's about looking past first impressions and social status to see the real person underneath. Both Elizabeth and Darcy have to unlearn their own biases. He has to overcome his class-based pride, and she has to overcome her snap judgments. They challenge each other, they make mistakes, they hurt each other, but ultimately, they help each other become better people. Their relationship is built on a foundation of mutual respect and intellectual equality, which was revolutionary for its time. They fall in love not just with each other's looks or status, but with each other's minds. The witty banter, the sharp arguments, that's the stuff of a true partnership. They are equals, and that's what makes their connection so powerful and timeless. They earn their happy ending, and we as readers and viewers are right there with them, cheering them on every step of the way. Pride and Prejudice teaches us that love isn't about finding a perfect person, but about learning to see an imperfect person perfectly. It's a message that resonates just as strongly today as it did 2 centuries ago. The journey of Elizabeth and Darcy is a testament to the power of change, forgiveness, and the courage to admit when you're wrong. What's your favorite Elizabeth and Darcy moment? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into classic literature, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.